Hi, it's Chris, and welcome back to the C. What do we have on the show today? We got 2 boxes in. Airmail from Mr. Daniel, down under, Australia. Number of items, 100. And Mr. Dan reached out on the old Discord a while back and said, I want to send you something. And I said, you don't have to. Australia shipping is crazy. And he goes, I want to. I said, okay. We have a note inside which says, Hi, Dr. Chris from Down Under. Down Under. I absolutely love your videos and have been watching for some time. You are the definitive life support to our beautiful Amiga computers. I have been given a heap of old computer electronic parts, just random things, chips, cables, sockets, which I would like to donate to you, along with some much needed Aussie snacks. This is but a small donation to your cause, and I wish I could help out more. Take care, and keep up the fantastic work. Mr. Daniel G. Thank you, Mr. Daniel. Let's see what's inside. I said you didn't have to do this, but we're going to find out what these things are. Starting out with a box. From Alpha Technology. This isn't just a box. Inside are some receipts and some things. Looks like some miscellaneous wires and just some things. Some capacitors, tantalums, a bunch of boards of something, some resistors, and a chip in there that is an Intel chip. And I don't know what these are. They have a 20 megahertz crystal on them, and I don't know what these are. They're clock generators. IAPX8688 processors. Generates the system clock. Uses a crystal for TTL frequency. Provides local ready, multi-bus ready synchronization. So these are for PCs of some part. FLIR's Biscuit Company. Established 1926. And inside of here are a bunch of 74LS chips and oscillators, a bunch of 74LS chips. Look at this. This is a Radio Shack original NOS part. Pretty neat. Another Radio Shack 7 LED signal, 74777. Bunch of decoders, latches, LEDs, a lot of vintage Radio Shack parts. Some sockets for what could be like gals. A bunch of 74 series chips. Thank you for these. 12 megahertz crystal, bunch of resistors. Now, I don't know how I'm going to get all this stuff back in the box. Oh, it kind of squishes down. I like the tin. I do like the tin. Tea time. FLIR's Biscuits. Next up, we have a bag of opened chips. I'll just eat one. Twisted cheese from Goganet, made in Australia, from Smith's Snack Food Company. Tim Tam biscuits from Arnott's. There is no substitute. Made with irresistible real milk chocolate. Arnott's Tim Tams. Next we have fans on a little card. Very nice. RJ45 crimper. Thank you for that. Wow, there's just so much stuff in here. Random bits of stuff. Ethernet ends. The world's shortest Ethernet connector. Some blanks. And a coupler. Blanks as in crimp tips. Random bits of gender changers. And what looks to be crimp connectors for floppy drives. Some cables. What kind of cable is this? Just a few cables in the old PC 5 1/4 floppy land. Some random wires, a melted rubber band, another piece of cheese, curl. All right. Tim Tams to the side now. This is a box. So that's from Mr. Dan. This is from Mr. Brett in Florida. I don't know what I did with the letter opener. So we have to deal with an X-Acto knife. This is very heavy. Here we go. Mr. Brett's thing and a note. Oh my God, it's a whole thing. What in what? Greetings, Dr. Chris. I hope this note finds you well. Thanks once again for all the entertaining content that you create while reviving and rejuvenating all the Amigas that have passed through your capable hands. Sadly, your next patient is enclosed.
Shit.
This machine in the box is an A500 made up of a spare Rev 6 board that I've had for years, mounted inside a brand new A1200.net case with an RGB to HDMI. Earlier this year, I upgraded the Kickstart ROMs to the latest version, 47.111, confirmed that the previous owner appeared to have done the 1 meg chip mod to the board. It was working at the time. After that, I put an Amiga Kit RGB to HDMI, but I don't recall if I tested it after adding it. It went back into storage. Recently, I got another A1200.net case and a new Amiga Kit 512K RAM expansion and began building up to complete the 500 with this spare board. After mounting it, I intended to run Amiga Test Kit to run some tests, but I got a black screen and the unmistakable odor of a component letting out some smoke. Looks like R406 burned itself out. I'm hoping this is a much simpler and less aggravating repair than the other 3000s turned out to be, and you can return this back to its full functionality. I have included 2 spare Chinesium EPROMs in case the Chinesium EPROM on the board has failed. I love how you guys are using my acronyms, Chinesium. Failed, which led to 406 dying, but I've also included the 2 EPROM variants that were acquired through an America-based source, so they should be legit. You can play around with and see if they can be useful. Thanks again for all you do, Mr. Brett. 4:42 p.m. We have an Apple AirTag. That's a popular item in shipping. And inside, we have an A500, Amiga 500. There she is, blinging again. An Amiga 500 Classic Edition A1200.net case. Gives you a cutout like the 1200 has for HDMI things. And just don't feel right. You know, you feel the Amiga 500s and thinking, man, this is very brown for a 500. So much so. So on your right is a real Amiga 500, and this is the A5 or the A1200.net recreation. It's great, perfect job, matches everything for the most part. Longer badge here, simple Chicken Lips logo here, and this is my Chicken Lips keyboard. Let's get this on the bench and take a peek. And thank you, Mr. Dan in Australia, for all of the wonderful bits. We're going to put them to use the best we can. Let's get John Holmes in there. Ah! Yep. One way up in there for you to drop. Now we can take our lid off. There we go. Here's your insides. Shiny plastic on the inside. Not used to seeing these new keyboard supports. Something up here. Stickers are very nice. This is what I'm talking about with the countersunk metal, so you don't bork your case. That's very nice. Take this keyboard out. Ground strap. Move the keyboard to the side. We got a 512K Amiga Kit adapter for RAM. We also got a button that probably touched something and ground it out. Here's your HDMI. Yep. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to remove the HDMI to RGB thing carefully. And we're going to take its Denise out. A little green chip lifter. Too big. Alright, there we go. Denise we're going to put back in. Everything's labeled. CIA, Gary, Paula. Didn't label Agnes, CPU, or ROM. 4 socketed RAM chips. R406 here. Now this is an Amiga 500 Rev 6A, 1988. Originally a 512K OCS machine. 512, you could get it with 1 mega RAM. Usually we'll do 512 and 512 and a chip mod. Right here, JP7 Alpha and the JP2. Done to right here to do the 1 meg chip mod. R406 is a 4.7. Always push on your power connector when you're plugging it in so you don't stress the board. Just kind of hit it and see what we see. Hopefully it won't blow up. Black screen. We blew her up, she's got a black screen. Ain't nothing working, black screen.
That boy is good. Good and terrible.
Okay, so we're gonna bust out the world's best thermal camera from Thermal Master, the P2. So I'll say she's a little hot. Nothing else on the whole board except that. Thank you, Thermal Master, for your wonderful camera. If you're interested in one of these, they're about 200 bucks, but holy crap, are they epic. Now, let's get this board out of here and flip her over and see what she looks like on the bottom. We got the Amiga 500. You fell for it too, paper. There you go. Yeah, it does have metal bits for Raspberry Pis up here, but here you're just digging into the plastic like everybody else was. Amiga Kit sells these pieces of paper for your board, and this is the so there's our girl in question. 1, 2. There's your girl in question, dangling like a bug. Hoo-wee, and she is burnt slap up. 4.7. This is not the right resistor. It's going to blow right away. It's 1/4 watt, not half. At least for a second before it implodes. $3 for a resistor. Going to drive 80 miles. Not tonight. I'll do it on the way home from work tomorrow. Turn this off. Temperature check. It's not hot. Not hot. Which is good. We're going to put diagram in the ROM. UDS LDS is okay. Amiga works. There's just no video. That's all. 512 kegs, the belly slot's out, CIA's passed. Hello and welcome back to day 2 on the Rev 6 no video Amiga 500. So I was looking at the schematics. So the video system here consists of a couple things. Your Denise, your Agnes, the socket itself, odd and even CIAs which pass, U37, which is a 74 LS, and then U41, R405, R406. We don't have the correct resistor in R405, so that's about it. No video, black screen are the 2 resistors, 405, 406, the Vidiot, and the 2 octobus transceivers right here. So these guys are 245s, that's a transceiver, 3-state output, so again, video slot, nothing, or towards Denise. These 2 guys right here, the Vidiot, the Denise, this resistor, and that resistor that I replaced with the wrong resistor. These 2 big caps are nichies. Everybody else are showies. So somebody replaced these caps in anticipation of the video. Because if these caps are bad, it'll torch R406 and R405, which it did. The caps look fine, they're new, but I think somebody replaced these in anticipation of why that was getting hot. And it could have already fried the Vidiot. I don't see any damage on it, but you know, it's wrapped in that black death lacquer stuff. Hi, welcome back. It's been about a week. Gold, purple, yellow. 4.7, not 47, 4.7. I had 1/4 watt, so I had to order a bunch of 1/2 watt resistors. I'm going to double check Amiga PCB Explorer because it wasn't an R, it wasn't a 4R. 4R7 would be 4.7. 47R is 47 ohm. 4.7. God. Alright, let's put the correct resistor in. Yellow to the left. Ta-da! 1 new resistor. Hopefully it didn't blow the transceivers or the Vidiot. I'm going to put my finger on it, see when it gets hot. Yep. Ouch. Instantly smoking. Instantly death hot. So that's why these caps were replaced, because This, they thought they were grounding out, so they smoked the resistor. 1000 UF. They put 3300s in here. So this is a 1000 UF capacitor, and there's 3,300 microfarads going through there. We gotta get these out of here. It's a brand new cap. Way over voltage. That's the cap that goes on there. 10 1000. These are probably still charged, so you want to ground them out together. Just stick them, let them touch each other. So, serial on the right, Amiga on the left, correct resistor, correct capacitor. Hopefully we're not over voltage, and hit it. Takes a second. There we go. Correct thing. Now, why is it flickery? Because I'm in the GBS thing and I laid a bunch of stuff on top of it. Amiga kit DV23. Ta-da! I gotta test out the RGB to HDMI. So we have HDMI and the RGB to HDMI. We're gonna turn this back on. Again, that's diagram, and then this is the RGB side. I'm letting the Pi load. So that's the RGB side. Now I'm going to flip it to HDMI. And it's crystal freaking clear. RGB to HDMI is working. Amiga is working on diagram. Now just because you have her working on diagram doesn't mean she's always going to work for you. Okay, so here we are. HDMI only. Amiga kickstart. And turn it on. It will take the Pi a second to boot. So that's why I always do an RGB. And there we go, 3.2 ROM. So there we go. Another Amiga's been saved. 313 Amigas. One of 6 components. You have 2 capacitors that can't exceed 1000 microfarad. A Vidiot, which is a resistor array. R405, R406, which are 4.7K resistors. And your 2 octobus transceivers with 3 state inputs towards RGB. Doing nothing, or towards Denise. And that's how it works. And of course your Denise chip. That's your RGB system. There are some EMI filter caps and a couple ferrite beads, but functionality wise, that's all you need to make a picture. This Amiga 500 has been returned to its former glory with a new case from A1200.net, and overall it's a great looking case. The screws do fit and pinch it closed, but it does kind of pop up a little bit. Remember to pop off your side door and take the 2 wires for your switch and HDMI out before turning it on. I gave it the Thailand tuck, so they're right near the door. And with that, that completes another repair. In this case, it is 313 have been saved. So that's all I got for this one. Thank you guys for coming along on this journey. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something.
Amazing. Drive Chris, keep the Amiga dream alive. Please consider joining the Patreon.
Yo, it's Big Snoop D.O. Double Gear. Some people ask me, do I really know Dr. Chris? To which I say, hells yeah, I know him.
Thanks for checking this out. And as Dr. Chris says, thanks for watching, and we hope you learned something.
Wow, that was great. Please consider helping Dr. Chris.
Dr. Chris, he's the best there ever was. I can tell you that personally, besides me, of course.
What do you know from funny, you bastard?